Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for joining us today. I'm Joe Corio, Senior Vice President at URL Insurance Group, and once again, we're here to review the happenings of the DOL Fiduciary Rule. Before I start, I'd just like to thank everyone for the business that they write through URL. We really appreciate your support. And the fixed index annuity business is booming these days. 2016 has been a great year. And I just wanted to remind you that it will continue as business as usual up through April of 2017 when the new fiduciary rule takes place. So please keep on working to close out 2016 and to make it a great year and to get 2017 off to a great start. With that, I'd like to get to today's DOL updates. First of all, I'd like to review what's happening on the legal front in regards to the Department of Labor fiduciary rule. And there's basically 3 items that I want to cover today. And by the way, if you have any questions, you can ask them by typing in a question. There should be in your window pane on the right side of your screen an area for questions. You can type them in there and we'll answer all the questions at the end of today's webinar. So first of all, 3 items I'd like to cover as far as the legal happenings. Since our last webinar, we have been informed that and received a ruling on the first case that was heard challenging the Department of Labor rule. The case was initiated by NAFA, which is the National Association of Fixed Annuities, an organization that URL is proud to be a part of. And NAFA was informed by the Federal District Court that heard the case that they have upheld the Department of Labor's rule, therefore ruling against our challenge. Now, NAFA immediately indicated that they will appeal to the D.C. Circuit Court of Appeals, and they have already filed the necessary paperwork to get this appeal heard. So we'll keep you posted on that. More recently, last Thursday in a Dallas federal court, our hearing was held for 3 combined lawsuits that have been filed to stop the DOL fiduciary rule. The Securities Industry and Financial Markets Association, the Financial Services Institute, and the U.S. Chamber of Commerce were among the plaintiffs that sat before Judge Barbara Lynn. Ms. Lynn heard the arguments of both sides, and according to some legal experts that were in attendance, the judge appeared very sympathetic to our cause and to the plaintiffs. During the hearing, the judge pressed the Department of Labor in regards to certain issues, such as the availability of information that agents will have in regards to competing insurance products. She also questioned the Department of Labor's representatives about the appropriateness of the DOL utilizing studies regarding mutual funds to reach conclusions regarding annuity products, noting that the difference between annuities that pay commissions and mutual funds that can either pay flat fees for service or commissions. She had a lot of questions in this area. And although the judge seemed sympathetic, we should not read too much into it. In fact, she cautioned the court before closing in that regard by saying, "My questions are just questions." So she's just trying to get a more insight as to what's going on. And she did advise that she hopes to have to issue an opinion in this case sometime within the next month. So we'll continue to monitor this closely and we'll keep you informed on any key developments as we have promised you. As I mentioned in my last webinar, there are still 2 or 3 other cases that are yet to be heard in regards to the legal actions that's being taken to defeat the DOL rule. While we're keeping an eye on these cases, we're continuing to prepare for the DOL rule enforcement as it currently is in effect. And as each day rolls by, it's just going to be harder and harder to change gears for some of these carriers. So we're taking it as if the rule as it is in place now will continue in place. The one last thing on the repeal of the rule that I want to talk to you about, since we last spoke, there was a presidential election that took place, and some of you may have heard, in case you haven't, Donald Trump is our new president-elect. And we are seeing and hearing a lot of articles and reports that indicate that Mr. Trump will abolish the rule shortly after taking office. You might have seen emails to this effect or heard things. Well, like anything else, we can talk all we want, but we still have to wait to see what really happens. Personally, I don't believe the DOL fiduciary rule is on the top of the new administration's to-do list. Again, either way, we're not going to wait and see what happens. We'll be ready for the rule as it currently stands. So that's the legal summary from our last meeting. So much for bringing you up to speed in that area. Now I'd like to talk about a subject I get a lot of questions about, and that is licensing as it pertains to the insurance-only agents that are out there. The question I get a lot in this regard is, will I need a securities license to sell fixed indexed annuities in the qualified market come post-DOL, which will be April 10th of 2017? The answer to that question is no. You will not need a security license to sell indexed annuities. You will need to comply with the best interest standards that we spoke about in depth during our last webinar, and you will need to sell by using the BIC, which once again is the best interest exemption contract. You will need to work with a financial institution, which URL plans to be able to assist you with. And you can do all this with just an insurance license. I'd just like to mention that in regards to URL assisting you as your financial institution, no FMO that has applied to be a financial institution has been approved as a financial institution as of today, nor do we even know when these approvals may be handed out by the DOL. So we'll keep everybody posted on that. Okay, so even though you will not need a securities license to sell annuities come post-DOL, some insurance-only agents may want to be ready to work with clients in the qualified market and offer a fee-for-service offer rather than commissions, especially since that's the direction the DOL rule seems to want to push agents. With that in mind, let's quickly review the major licenses and the one that may make the most sense for you. So the first is the Series 6 license. That allows you, should you want to sell mutual funds or variable annuities, having a Series 6 license will enable you to do that, along with the Series 63. The 63 is required by each state and authorizes the holder that transacts business within that state. Excuse me. The next is the Series 65. This is required to provide advice and service on a non-commission basis. So if you're going to do fee for services, 65 is what you would need. And then the Series 7, that authorizes you to sell virtually any type of security, such as a bond, a stock, and so forth. So you can see if you wanted to be ready to use a fee for service business model going forward, the Series 65 would be the way to go. And you might be asking, why would an agent want to have that license, especially if I just told you you really didn't need it? Well, the feeling is it will enable you to work in the best interest of the client by taking away any distractions. One big distraction being commission. So if you were ever in a situation where you were being questioned as to why you suggested one product over another, and there was no question as to commission involved, you would have a much stronger case for what you did or didn't do. Now, as you may know, the Department of Labor has clearly stated that they will not be policing the DOL rule. Although they announced it and they're enforcing it, they're not going to police it. They indicate that enforcement and policing will be based on complaints that will be initiated by your clients. So under the DOL requirements, you will need to be ready to explain what you recommended to your client and why you recommended it. If for some reason, sometime down the road, the client is not happy with what you recommended to them, you could find yourself in the middle of a lawsuit. So going forward, documentation will be imperative, and you will need to keep this in mind by always asking yourself this question. This is how you can keep things in perspective. And the question is, if 5 years from now, I'm standing in a courtroom answering questions in regards to a sale I made, will I have the answers to the questions I'm being asked? It is because of this that many agents feel they should pursue the 65 license. If you can prove a track record of offering different product lines to different clients, and you're using the same product over and over with every single client, then you're indicating and showing that you are not acting in the client's best interest, because every client cannot be a good candidate for the same product. So by taking the distraction of receiving a commission out of the picture, it'll probably help your cause, should you ever get called as to why you made a sale. So whether you do or don't obtain a Series 65 license is up to you. I reiterate, right now it is not necessary in order to sell fixed indexed annuities after April of 2017. For those of you who do want to pursue getting the license, URL, in conjunction with our marketing partner, Brokers International, we're going to make it real easy for you to do so, and potentially at no cost. URL is offering a special online training course for your Series 65 license. And here's how it works. If you pay $120 for an online course, you'll receive study guide, which will take you through almost the entire course. There'll be video tutorials. There'll be exercises and webinars that you can use. There'll be simulated exams and pre-test exams. So everything you need to study, to get a feel for it, to take a practice test will be included for the $120. If you pass the test, URL will reimburse you for your $120 cost. So it's virtually free, assuming that you pass the test. Now again, you don't have to do this, but if you want to do it, either now or down the road, keep this in mind. So you can contact me for full details, and I'll get you some information on where to order that at any time you want. So for now, let's just see if we have any questions here. I don't have that much more to offer at this point. I don't see any questions. So again, if you want more information on that, for now, let me know. Or if you're thinking about it, and maybe after the first of the year, you might want to get your 65 when we have more information. You can give me a call or an email, and I'll get you some more definite information on how this whole program works. And again, you don't need it at this point, but if you're going to be in the annuity business and you're going to be selling a lot of products, it just might help you to have that, so that you're not, you're taking away a big distraction of acting in the client's best interest, and that distraction being receiving a nice commission for your annuity sale. So let me just see if I do have any questions here. I think I do have one. Nope, I don't. Okay, so that concludes today's webinar. We'll meet again in 2 weeks on Tuesday. That would be the 6th of December. Again, if you're not on the live webinar, because you signed up, we will send you a recording of the webinar. And again, thank you all for your business. Please finish the year strong. It's been a great year for fixed indexed annuities. I still believe 2017 is going to be a great year as well, although we'll have a little more documentation, a little different way of doing business. And next time on our webinar, we're going to walk through some of that, what the process might look like next year to do some business in the qualified market. With that, I'll say happy holidays to everybody. Hope you enjoy Thanksgiving, and talk to you next time. Thank you.